What is up, my little Deinos? Vepsis, your coach of the Helsinki Hydreigons, and we are back for the GDL Season 2 quarterfinals, as we are gonna be at the top 8 and we are the number 1 seed going up against the number 8 seed in the round 1 of the playoffs, who is gonna be Max Rapture and his Tasmanian Toxicroaks. He was someone who we got to play in week 1 and now we get to rematch again, and hopefully we can move on from this, cause honestly it would be kinda unfortunate as a number 1 team to lose in round 1 in playoffs, but Max Rapture has had a very strong second half of the season, so he has been on an upper direction in regards to his momentum, so it can be a very tough fight ahead of us. So let's go and see what he's gonna be bringing. As usual, I will leave the team page down below in the description so you can check out his roster and compare it to my own, and he's gonna be bringing Ditto, DRACOVISH, Gardevoir, Silvally, Max, Gigamax Orbital, and the Jolteon. So the things that he didn't bring this time around are the Umbreon and Rhyperior, what I think from last time. And the newcomers are now the Gardevoir and the Ditto. So who do I like as a lead? Now, he has a couple of Scarfers that I have to worry about. Potentially 2 Scarfers in Ditto, which is usually very often being choice scout, just not having to risk a speed type, whatever it's gonna turn into. And Gardevoir I can see being a choice scout, but even Specs can do a lot of work versus my defensive core, which I have to worry about. DRACOVISH, if it's gonna be fully physical attacker, my Quagsire is not this time around dedicated for it, but I'm banking on the fact that he's gonna be the superpower. The Super Fang Draco Minion set this time around, but as of a lead I could just stick with the basic with Dragapult, or I could honestly lead with my Snorlax, cause that thing has pretty good matchup versus majority of the things that he brought. I think I'll mix it up off the chance he leads with like Choice Scarf Gardevoir or a Choice Scarf Ditto. So I'm gonna be leading with this, and he did not bring any toxic immunity unless the Silvally is gonna be steel typing, but like usually I wish my opponents good luck and have fun in the video and Discord as well. So let's go into see what my opponent is gonna be leading off with. He had several options that he could have honestly led with, so it's gonna get a harder read to see what it's going to be. I have to kind of try to see that if he led with something that will check a Dragapult lead. So he leads with the Orbital, which I don't mind too much. This thing does get access to Sticky Whips and I did not bring my remover, but Dragapult will have Clear Body, so it only really affects for my team Celebi and the Grimmsnarl, mainly for their speed creeps, but other than that I should be okay. I'm gonna be clicking Toxic immediately versus this thing and get it on a timer or anything else. As I said, only the Silvally. If it's gonna be Steel or Poison, which I forgot to mention, those two will be only able to avoid the Toxic being affected on them, unless he's gonna be having Substitute. He does go for the Sticky Webs, which is now going to mean that my Celebi cannot outpace the DRACOVISH, which is unfortunate, and the Grimmsnarl won't be able to outpace some very minor speed creeps that I had on it, but it should not be the end of the world here. I would like to get my rocks up later on with my Skarmory, but here I'm gonna be going for the Body Slam. No reason not to really. And this is gonna be his G-Max mode, which I'm already having on the timer, and I am specially defensive with this thing, so I should be able to take it out decently fine. He does go for the Hypnosis, but funny enough, I guess he hasn't got to know this too often, that I tend to run Rest Talk too often, so running Hypnosis versus me won't be always that effective, especially if you end up doing it versus something that I do run Rest Talk on, and that is going to be the Snorlax. So I'm gonna be hoping that if he swaps out I get a Toxic off, or I get a Body Slam off. Either way it's gonna be fine, and it's going to be having U-turn, so he's using his G-Max as a utility option this time around. Now hopefully I get 66% going into my way, that I get one of my 2 moves off, cause either of the 2 would be honestly just fine versus anything that will come in on me. But let's see what he does. Interesting choice of a lead that he dedicated himself to get Sticky Webs up right from the get-go, and there comes the DRACOVISH. And I do happen to get a first turn wake up, so that didn't actually work out for me. So where I praise here how nice the Rest Talk set is, I guess luckily enough for me this worked out this way, that I got the Sleep Talk. But now I wonder what his play is going to be, because he knows my Quagsire is the dedicated switching, which I still will go to at first, because I want to know more about his DRACOVISH set. I do have Protect and Leftovers on it, and I'm specially defensive off the chance it's going to be that Superfan Draco Meteor set. I think the only way that it can 2-hit KO me is that with that specific set is that if he's going to be Life Orb and he gets very high roll, if not max roll, versus this thing. But let's see what he does go for. If this is a heavily physical attacking set, it's going to be more annoying. But he does go for the crunch. We avoid the 2-hit KO, but that did a lot of damage for sure to us. So at this point, I think I have to just go for the attack, or I go for the Protect to gain more health. I think I go for the Protect off the chance he still has the Draco Meteor. I could have called that, but I think for now I go for the Protect to see what he does again. If he might be choiced with this thing. He might be choiced. I'm gonna check it right now on this turn, while I do spend some time in that, if this is choice banded or not. Let's see, Quagsire with him having crunch. That looks to me to be choice banded. Yeah, there's no way, I don't think that otherwise he could have 2-hit KO'd me there. So I could go into my Crims now, which won't be taking too much from it if it's choice banded. Yeah, I can go into my Crims now. Pretty sure this is choice banded based on that damage. So I could go from there and start pressuring him quite a bit. So I'm gonna be making that play. Now, if those cogs messed me up, and this would be pretty bad if he's not some reason choice locked, but I think he is. So I should be able to take this thing on decently well with this attack, as he goes for the crunch again. And I get to see from here as well that he is choice banded, so I can now confirm with that it's going to be that set. So that's gonna be the worst case scenario. So the Quagsire is going to be quite hard to I have to get it recovered versus the Jolteon or something else later on. But now, who does he honestly swap into on a Dasking Gleam? He doesn't swap into too many things. I think I go for it at first just to see what his response to this would be. Because I still don't know what the Silvally is, so it could be still a typing that can take this thing on. As he goes into the Orbital, this might be his just getting the maximum out of this. Maybe he was just perfectly fine just getting the sticky webs up, and that's all he is planning to get out of it. I could G-Max here just to prevent me taking too much damage, which I think I will do. And I'm gonna be going for the max flare, so it's a lot harder for the DRACOVISH to revenge kill me, because I get the sun up for myself, and that should make it a lot harder for him to revenge kill me. I would at least hope that that's going to be the case. I have to still calc as these animations are going off at that what kind of range I'm going to be at after he attacks me, and does the Vicious Range still potentially kill me. If he doesn't, this fire attack will help me quite a bit and ensure me that. But he does go straight for the regular Bug Pass, which shouldn't do too much to me. So I can go for the max flare straight out here, and now with the sun up, now the DRACOVISH with choice banded Vicious Range. It's still gonna be strong, but it's not as easy to revenge kill me, even when he's able to outspeed me. So I'm gonna check right now how much the DRACOVISH can do to me. Worst case scenario, he's adamant. He would do 56 to me with that hit. So I should be still fine. He does go into his Silvally at this point. I think I have to just attack this thing no matter what. But I'm gonna be making sure that the... yeah, Silvally Fairy. So for sure he did not mix up the names this time around any weird kind of way. So I'm gonna be going for the Max Starfall. Hopefully it's gonna be doing a lot of damage to it. He's gonna be getting that one off. And he is able to two-shot me from there, but I should be getting good amount of damage to him there. That's still like around 30% of health, I think. Yeah, that's about 30% of health that he has with that Silvally. So what I could do here is that I hot swap on the final turn. preserve this thing as a sack. And I think I'll go straight into my Skarmory first, and then I pivot into my Snorlax on a potential fire move, especially with the sun being up. But I make this play here. I don't think he's gonna be going for the fire move right now. I think he's trying to ensure the kill while I'm still in a G-Max form. And once I get this Snorlax out, I think I'll just go for the Body Slam on the following turn. But let's see what he does. He does go for the multi-attack. So here, this is a turn that I have to now make a double. Because I know he ran already fire move last time with Silvally flying. And I don't see any reason why he would not have this. So now we make the double into Snorlax real quick and save time on that. Because I have used now a little bit time on a couple of previous turns when I've been decalking. So we are not gonna use time on that turn. Because the play is going to be the same no matter what. And let's see. I would expect, yeah, there's the flamethrower. So with Thick Fat we can take this just fine. Now if he would burn me, he gets a crit. But he doesn't burn me. So if he would have burned me, then I would have been very much more likely gonna click Toxic. He could Parting Shot here, which would make the following attack a little bit weaker. So I might go for the Toxic instead. Because of that. And get something on a timer, including this thing, even though it's weak and I would like to get on a timer, because then it's a lot less efficient. But now the Grimmsnarl, basically I'm gonna be preserving as a sack when I have to for DRACOVISH. That is by far the biggest threat to me, it being Choice Bandit after all. He does go for the U-turn, so he doesn't have the Parting Shot this time around. So Body Slam could have been just fine as well. But now at least we know that he has U-turn. He might still have Parting Shot, but I would have think he would have gone for that versus my Snorlax instead. But he does go into the DRACOVISH again. So if we get this Toxicroak, of course. I forgot about the Misty Terrain. So that's a web potato. So all the time I should have clicked the Body Slam on that turn. That was a misplay from my side. So at this point, he might go for the Crunch yet again. I think I go into this Skarmory. This is a risky play if I get this wrong, but I have to make sure that the Quagsire is alive. I know I had the Grimmsnarl as a sack, but I think at this point he won't go for Vicious Ren, because he's gonna be only healing my Quagsire at this point. And if I would get able to get my rocks up, they are going to help me quite a bit. And Skarmory doesn't have any other purpose either on this matchup, so I will hope to get this one right. I'm annoyed at myself that I did not get... Okay, so he does go for the Vicious Ren. That's going to be most definitely kill me, but that's a surprising play that he went to for the Vicious Ren, because the Quagsire could have been able to be healthy. But I guess I'll take this turn to get itself back to full health. He's getting these calls right with the DRACOVISH, so kudos on him. Me making that Toxic play definitely... He's gonna hurt me quite a bit, and including that play, but I didn't expect him to do that kind of play, honestly. But I go for the Recover. I'll do go for the Recover. So at that point, like those couple of plays, I have to now honestly mention the Toxic play with the Snorlax. Not ideal. The following turn, when I said that I don't think he's go for the Vicious Ren, I still stand by it, that he should have gone for it. But I did say that Grimmsnarl was my sack, so in the end I would still call it as a misplay from my side. But now, what does he do with this Silvally? Because I am specially defensive. He could be trying to sack this thing, but I think I'll go for the Earthquake. Hopefully he doesn't have Grassy Blades on it, that would be the worst case scenario. But I think he made this swap knowing that how annoying it was to swap into Quagsire. He does have the... I'm getting all of these wrong, but I'm able to take that. I should have protected, I guess, and scout that hit, but I want to think that takes out the Silvally Fairy. Well, I got a critical hit on it, but again, I guess there I should have gone for the Protect, but that would have put me in a position that now he's going to get into his DRACOVISH. But I need to settle down in this game. I think at this point I'm not really... I think I'm trying to rush things to happen only because I have gotten a couple of plays wrong, and it's not helping that I'm trying to force things happen from my side. I think I should be slowing down a little bit and get my plays again right. As he does go into the Carnivore now. Now I do go for the Protect because I definitely would like to know what this thing is all about. And gain that little recovery. After that. Right now the Dragapult is still a massive winning condition for me. Still with the clear, thanks to the clear body. He does go for the Moonblast, which is free because this Skarmory is dead, but I do still have this Snorlax. Good amount of health. So we're going to get to see that if he does make the double. If he now does make the double, good on him. But then I have to make the right call that I do sack the Grimmsnarl. Because now the biggest keys for me to win is the Dragapult and the Quagsire for sure. And this Snorlax can do a good amount of work for me. So I think these three are the biggest. Okay, that is a pretty strong Gardevoir. I'm not sure if that's still specs or not. But that was a relatively strong hit still. Now I could go for honestly for rest. And there's no way they Misty Surges. Yeah, there's no way Misty Surge is wrong. So I should not be doing any of a misplay at this point. He does go for the Moonblast again. I should be taking this, as we are. And we get up the rest, and after this I can go for the Sleep Talk. So the game is not over. I have definitely made some misplays still in this battle, and I'm in a tougher spot that I should be because of that. But it's not over for our side. We can still pull this one off. He does go for the Moonblast again. Yeah, we should be taking that thanks to the leftovers. Now it would be nice to get either Toxic or Body Slam off, just to get something out of the turn. As we do get up the Toxic off and we do land it. So now the Gardevoir is on a timer. It's important that I get this thing on a timer and start to whittle this thing down, because now the Seal Valley Fairy is gone. So that the Dragon Dots will become very free once we have been able to take care of this thing. And now I can kind of spam it as well, because even if the Gardevoir would swap into me, it's going to be taking now rounds of Toxic as well. Every single time he's going to be doing that, but he does swap out. He does swap into the DRACOVISH, which is going to be scary. But this point on, I have to remember to sack the Grimmsnarl, and then we proceed from there what he does. We get off a rest, so that's not the most ideal situation. But it still should be okay. At least the previous turn we did get something out of the turn. So we go into the Grimmsnarl now. Now sack it properly. And I think at that point I go into my Dragapult, assuming that my Grimmsnarl does go down on this turn. And Phantom Force as well looks pretty free as well, because he doesn't have a Ghost immunity or a Umbreon in the back. So I could honestly go into my Dragapult and lock myself into Phantom Force, because that's gonna be doing a lot into something. And yeah, because I can... well, the thing is, if this thing lives that hit, that would be, I guess, the most annoying part. I could go into this as well and get a Thunder Wave off. I think I'll use my Celebi for this. Because if I get a Thunder Wave off on this thing, it would be really nice. And then slow it down from there. Because the Dragapult is still... I still worry if I would have gone into Dragapult and I click myself into Phantom Force and he happens to stay in for whatever reason. That would be absolutely the worst case scenario. If he swap into Jolteon, I'm okay with that. I get a slow... I can beat it 1v1, I can get slow U-turn on it into my Dragapult. So even if the Thunder Wave immunity would show up, I should be still fine. But I will get up this Thunder Wave if he swaps into the Gardevoir. That would be the other thing that is quote-unquote immune to it. But I'm a physical attacking Celebi as well. He does go for the Crunch. We have the Colbur Berry. Now hopefully, as we are gonna be taking this, We just get this thing. He's gonna get the defense drop, which is really bad. But we go for the Thunder Wave and we miss. Are you kidding me? So that puts me in a position that I lose another one because of that. That's... That's not good at all. I have to lose my Celebi at this point because that happened. That's... That's really annoying. And obviously mattered. Though. So now I have to do the thing that I didn't want to do last time because I missed that. So this might be... Now I only have the 3 monster ref that I had bank on to win. If he goes into Gardevoir, what's the worst case scenario that happens? He makes a double back to DRACOVISH. I think that's the worst case scenario. I want so badly to Phantom Force here. Is that the play that I have to do to win? If he goes into the Gardevoir, I'm in a position that I have to call out the Gardevoir if it's gonna swap in on me or not. It's a 50-50. I'm calling the Gardevoir. Okay. Okay, it's not over. It is not over. Okay, he went into the Jolteon after all, so that doesn't really matter too much, I guess. I could have gone for the Dragon Dust and finished this thing 1-off, but I'm glad either way that I got the call right, but it might not matter too much. I was hoping that the Gardevoir would have come in instead. But this is still good that I at least got this one right. This should do a lot to this Jolteon. I am Choice Banded. And it's gonna be able to pick that thing off. Nice. Good. Okay. I don't know if that's gonna pull us back, but I'm glad that I still got it somewhat right. Again, the ideal situation would have been the Gardevoir would have come out. But maybe in the end, if the Gardevoir would have come out, he would have sacked the same thing. So, I guess in big scheme of things, me calling that one out didn't really change his play what it should have been in the end. But either way, we are still in. We are still in this. I have to kind of just try to reset myself from that Celebi, I'm not gonna lie. It's obviously going to bother me more and more that this battle goes along, and seeing that how much it could have mattered, and now the Ditto comes in. Now he could go for the U-turn or straight out attack me, so this is gonna force a 50-50 as well, what I worried earlier. He has the... This is 3 versus 3 at this point. How do I plan this out? I have more time than him, so I can a little bit take the time. If he goes for the U-turn, goes to DRACOVISH. I don't think ever my play should be risking this thing. I have to, like, I want to call out the U-turn, but now more and more I'm thinking about, I cannot risk this thing. I cannot risk this thing. I swap out first, but he's gonna be clicking U-turn regardless. I guess that didn't really matter. He does go for the Dragon Dust. And he's Scarf. He is Scarf with it. Granted, the only way I can hit this Dragapult in itself is Toxic. This is the second turn of rest, because I got the Toxic off. Correct. So I go for the rest. He swaps out, probably into... yeah. Probably into this. Now, I could have tried to call that play out and swap into Dragapult, that would have put me in a very strong position, but at the same time I would have had to predict again. But this thing can beat the Ditto and the other guy. I have to sack the Quagsire. I have to look back on that if the rest or swapping into Dragapult would have been the better play, but I kept the Snorlax alive. that can beat the other two. Now it's about this DRACOVISH. He's gonna click runs for sure. There's no way he would not have click anything else. Okay. So, we come into mind games again. We come into mind games again. How am I willing to, if the Gardevoir comes in as I lock myself into Dragon Dance, I have to ask myself, how willing am I to call the DRACOVISH double? And do I have to make that kind of call? I think I have to dodge. I think I have to dodge. He does swap out. He does swap into the Gardevoir. So now this is the... He does get the clear body. This could be Scarf. This is a tough turn. This is a tough endgame. Now. What is the safest way for him to win this battle? And can I disrupt that anyways? Try to pull it back. Because if he makes this safe play, Moonblast in as I go into Snorlax. Honestly, what I would expect him to do would be double into DRACOVISH, because that claims a free kill. Am I willing to make this play? Because if I get the DRACOVISH on a switch, I can win. I'm calling it. I might get this wrong. And I get it wrong. So, unfortunately... Oh, he does go for the Psyshock, so it's not over. I was expecting this to be over. Unless he specs. He's not he is specs. And I still managed to live it. So we have another shot still at this. Then again, Snorlax might get 2th KO'd anyways. This might be still over anyways. This might still be over. Maybe... This might still be over, to be honest, now looking at it. I think that's still the deal. Either way that he specs. That might seal the deal, because I don't think my Snorlax takes 2. It might be able to. Because I have changed its spread a couple of times. That might be a roll. Or it could also mean that I get 2-shot at this thing still. That might be definitely still a 2-shot. I think this might be the case that we lose on round 1. Unfortunate as it is. There are gonna be a lot of things while I edit this that I have to look back on. Like, I know the obvious early on, like the Toxicking on the Misty terrain, that's obvious misplay. Not scouting the Grassy Glide, not Grassy Glide, the Grassy Pledge was another one, but now looking at the endgame I have to look back on it. Was there anything that I could have done differently to win this? But now if the Ditto is Scarf, it's guaranteed. Like, I don't expect to win this anymore. But I might as well try to make it closer than it is right now. But that's a tough way to go out after being the number 1 seed, like I said earlier. Definitely not the cleanest battle that I have played. And he also brought the Choice Banded DRACOVISH, which was... I was heavily surprised that he made that call. But if he expected me to expect the Super Fang set kudos on him, I cannot really say anything different from that. But at this point he should just let this thing go down. He goes into the Scarf Ditto and finishes me off. So this is going to be a 2-0 loss, I would assume at this point. And the DRACOVISH probably would live a hit, so versus DRACOVISH I need a crit. But yeah. It's a tough way to go out like this, but I guess it was bound to happen. Like, I have been very... I wouldn't say always like fortunate, like I know recently in Draft League battles I've been lucky. So I guess bound to happen that I get unlucky at some point. But regards to reflecting on my playoff runs in Generation 8, fortunately enough I have always at least made 2 finals. I haven't won every single final. But now losing on a round 1, I guess this was bound to happen, that eventually it's not going to be that I can make that big of a run. But great game to Max Rapture. I think the way that he played, he deserved to win. He did not make the mistakes that I did that cost me the game. Obviously the Thunder Wave miss with the Celebi cost me. I cannot tell right now that if that was the ceiling deal. So I'm not gonna say live recording now reflecting on it, then say something salty that yeah, that's the reason I lost. Because I know I made the mistake that cost me as well quite a bit. But it was kind of unfortunately, at that point I could have also maybe thought that if I go into the Celebi, should I reached that Thunder Wave? But at the same time, Thunder Waving the DRACOVISH would have been really nice. But I was afraid of having to make a 50-50 call with the Dragapult, so I didn't go into that. But in the end, when I missed the Thunder Wave, it put me in the same position that I did not want to be anyway. So, either way, thank you for watching. That's going to be my run in the GDL Season 2. Very rough way to end it. But it's something that I can look back and I learn from. And we still have, thankfully, UBL right now going. I think by the time that this goes up, the week 1 battle has already happened. So while this is going to end here, it's going to let me focus on that. And we're going to be focusing there to defend our title as best as possible. But as I said, great game to Max Rapture. Make sure to check him out and his run. Hopefully he can go all the way. I guess for myself that okay, I lost to the person that won it all, but regardless, great game to him, and thank you for watching, and I'm gonna be seeing you guys later.